everybody, welcome back in the kitchen with one of our favorite chefs, Lindsay Brooks, a local caterer out of Green Bay for Runaway Spoon. Good morning and happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays. Thank you, Amy.
I know it's a busy time of year, so thanks for, I know getting you out of the shop is not easy.
Oh, I love the holidays. They're so much fun.
So Lindsay is here. Lindsay does amazing desserts, and she might still have time if you give her a call today to be able to do dessert for your holiday party or get together, or maybe some appetizers. But she does really elegant, high-end, lovely holiday parties for people. And today she's going to share some secrets and shortcuts to some quick and easy holiday hors d'oeuvres, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, thank you, Amy.
That will make you look like your party's catered.
Yes.
So tell us about what we're making today.
Yeah, one of the trends is crostinis, and I think sometimes that word seems a little fancy and intimidating for people, but it's actually really simple to put together. It's practically toast with different spreads and toppings on them, but you can kind of have fun with it as far as putting out a nice big bowl of bread and having all different sorted toppings, or you can assemble them and have little dainty little bite-sized appetizers for people to go around to. And it's a great way to add color, and it's probably some of the ingredients you might just have in your house already, so it doesn't take a whole lot of money and effort to make it look great.
Yeah, and when they're all plated, like we're going to show you, they just do look so elegant. And you can start with one, make a whole bunch of crostini, and then so do that once, and then do different toppings.
Yeah, crostini will last for about a week in your home, so you can go ahead and make the recipe that's online, and then just leave them uncovered or in a Ziploc bag with the bag open for about a week, and they're going to stay just crispy and just fine.
That is a good tip.
Get them ahead of time. If you've got a couple different parties going on, and you got to bring something, it'll last that whole week. So.
Good idea, but don't seal the bag because then they get soft, and you want them to be crisp. You want them to be crisp. So starts out with French bread. So just thinly slices. This is crostini 101. So
yes.
This will get you started. So
and I like French baguettes. They have a nice little crunch to them. They have some structure to them. You could use just regular white bread and cut maybe toast points, something like that out of it, but I like these little round baguettes. They're the perfect size for a bite-sized type function. Because
when you think appetizers, you being a caterer, you want it to just be, you don't necessarily need knives and forks, you just want to put a bunch of, hors d'oeuvres out.
And if you're going to someone's house and you need to bring something, you never know if they're going to have the flatware or anything like that. And this all you really need is a napkin, and you can enjoy a crostini. So.
I love it. So I'm just slicing these very thin,
Yep.
2 bites, and then putting them on a cookie sheet.
Yep.
Baking sheet, whatever.
Yep, and I normally do about 1/4 of an inch thin, but whatever your knife skills can do. If they're a little bit chunkier, a little uneven, it's going to be okay. You hide it with all the wonderful toppings that go on
and
them.
the bread knife really helps to get this thin, you know what I mean? And if it's day-old bread, I think that's just fine, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so there we go. Now olive oil?
Yep, you can drizzle the olive oil on, or you can brush it on, whatever you'd like, but I like a little olive oil, salt, and pepper.
Okay.
And you can either flip them over and do olive oil, salt, pepper on the backside, too, if you're somebody that likes a lot of spice to go with them.
Okay. So salt and pepper. So we're going to keep it real simple on the seasonings because this way they're going to go with whatever we put on top of them.
Yeah, sometimes we put Parmesan cheese on here, sometimes we have dried herbs, but this is just going to be your basic standard crostini. They go into the oven. You want a nice hot oven, so about 400 degrees. If you have convection option, put 400 convection. And they take about 10 minutes. So they want to get a little toasted, a little golden brown on the outside. And like I said, they'll hold up great for you all week long, as long as you leave them uncovered.
I love this. Now, if you're going to do real, Italian like appetizers on these, I would go ahead and then do a little, maybe a dried Italian seasoning. Or,
or a little bit of garlic on there. Yep, absolutely.
But if you want to keep them just generic, anything's going to go on top of these. So now, crostinis are done. We've got them. They look beautiful. Keep an eye on them. They go from toasted to burnt and really.
Right.
Yeah.
When I say, 8 to 10 minutes, it's really in that range. Anything more than that, they'll turn on you.
Yeah,
so.
and also make plenty because my kids eat these right out of the oven. They're like, what smells so good? And they will devour the entire batch, and it's like, then I have to start over. Those were for Mom's cocktail party. Okay, so.
It's like a gourmet cracker pretty much.
Yeah,
and I mean, who doesn't like crackers in the holidays?
They smell great when they're baking. Okay, so now let's talk about some fun different toppings. I think most of us are used to bruschetta on top of it, which is, sliced tomatoes, garlic, basil.
And that works, and sometimes they put mozzarella and a little basil in there, and you get the red and the green for the holiday.
Right.
But to kind of change it up a little bit and kind of just be a little wow factor, we're going to make roasted cranberries with rosemary and honey on there.
Ooh.
And that's the one that I'm going to have you start out with, Amy, right off the bat. So it's about a tablespoon of just regular butter and about 6 ounces or so of cranberries.
Now it just goes, the butter and the cranberries go right in there.
Yep, and then this is just a sprig of rosemary, and I just leave it whole and I throw it in there, and it kind of just steeps, if you will.
Okay, so we'll get that going.
Yep.
And then just put the rosemary in. All right.
Yep, and then drizzle a little bit of honey in here. You want about a tablespoon or so of honey. And that just kind of adds a little bit of sweetness. It helps caramelize it a little bit.
Okay, so we'll let that cook.
And that's going to take maybe 2 or 3 minutes for it just to kind of, cranberries need to pop open, if you will, and they brighten up in color, so it's beautiful.
Okay, so we'll let that hang out. Now we're going to move on to topping number 2.
Topping number 2 is going to be marinated artichokes. It's a great little time saver if you have not tried them. Try the glass jarred ones that are marinated.
Yes.
They've got a lot of great flavor to them. We're going to start with that as our base.
So we just pick up a jar of marinated artichoke hearts, or 2 or 3, how many we're going to make.
Yep.
Drain them.
Yep.
All right.
All right, and Amy, I'm going to have you
chop them up.
Chop them up.
Like a rough chop?
Just a rough chop, because they're going to go on top of the toast, so they don't need to be completely minced.
Okay.
I've got a roasted red pepper here. You can buy them already jarred, or you can make them fresh.
Okay.
Again, jarred helps you for the holidays.
Yes,
and we're just going to roughly chop this as well.
Okay.
And again, you're getting a little bit of the green and the red for the color.
And artichokes to me are something special, something that we don't have all the time. It's something holiday-ish.
Right.
Okay, and I'm thinking this needs something else, so,
cheese.
Yeah,
right?
I was
we are
thinking.
in Wisconsin. I think we need to do the cheese.
Now we're thinking. So we're going to, what kind of cheese should we use?
I like Parmesan cheese. So like a nice, hard, aged Parmesan is perfect.
Okay, so we just basically take our crostini, and do we mix these together, or just kind of?
You can do either or. You can leave them separate or mix them together. So if you want to just put a couple of artichokes on the bottom, we'll put a little red pepper on top, and then garnish with the cheese, of course.
I love it.
And like I was saying, this is one that you can assemble up ahead of time for when your guests come, or you can just have a bowl that has your kind of toppings there, and people can mix and match how they want. It's one of those things where you never know what they're going to eat, so if you just put out a nice spread, they can mix and match what they're doing too.
Or if you want, or like you say, if you want it a little more elegant, you want it to look like a caterer. And you see how Lindsay's all about white, and most caterers are. That white space.
Our food really pops off well off of a white platter base. And then you want to find something that's the appropriate size for it. So think about how many crostinis you might be having, or what your spreads might be, and fill up that plate. Because you don't want to have a big, huge plate with only a small amount of crostinis
or you don't want it overcrowded either, because that's not a good thing either.
Right.
Then you just want to be able to refill these. So a little Parmesan, and then we have crostini number 1, which,
Which is perfect and easy to do. You can make it up about 20 or 30 minutes before guests arrive, and it's all set.
Done. Okay, easy breezy. Love that.
All right. Number 2 is prosciutto, which is one of my favorite Italian meats, arugula and ricotta. So I'm in love with ricotta, if you don't know that about me yet. And it's just pretty much we're going to do ricotta straight up on the crostini. We're going to do a little prosciutto and a little arugula on top.
That's easy.
And then we drizzle with honey. So then you get a little bit of the creaminess, you get the saltiness and the spicy, topped with a little bit of sweet as well.
Okay, so ricotta cheese, which just that you get at the grocery store, or is there more? Would you go for something more high end, like go to a specialty cheese store?
I like the specialty cheese stores. There are a few out there that are a little bit more authentic, which means they're just a higher fat content. They're much creamier. If you didn't have a great quality ricotta, you could always put your ricotta into the food processor, and it makes it a little bit fluffier and lighter too, to kind of stretch it out a little bit. But
so just a little piece of prosciutto?
Just a little piece of prosciutto. Kind of fold it over the top. Perfect.
Pretty. And prosciutto is, like that wonderful Italian ham that is so special. And my daughter Ireland eats like the entire package. I'm like, easy there. This stuff is expensive.
It's a little expensive, and the package maybe is only a couple ounces, but a little bit goes a long way.
So arugula?
Yep, just a leaf or 2 of arugula on top.
Okay.
A nice garnish.
Okay, and you know what? This is so nice because arugula used to be super hard to find. You can get it right at the grocery store.
Yeah, definitely.
For you and all that.
And then arugula's got a little spice to it, so it's good to go with the salty ham.
Okay.
And then a little bit of honey, and then I do cracked pepper on the very top as well.
Nice. I'm loving this.
So just a light little drizzle. And again, these are things that don't cost a ton, because prosciutto, you only need one little package. Will probably feed your whole party.
But it's important to keep all these steps in here. Don't miss the honey. Don't miss the pepper.
Right, right. What you want to think about is trying to accent all those taste buds. So like I said, that spicy, that sweet, the salty. Absolutely. So number 2, done. Easy to go.
Got it.
Cranberries. How are we looking on the cranberries?
We are looking pretty good here. So at home, maybe let them cook a little longer, but they are starting to pop.
They just need to pop, and this can be done, 3 or 4 days in advance, and they can be chilled, or you can serve them warm right out of the pan too.
So
either way is going to work.
Cranberries, butter, honey, and rosemary. And the rosemary, I can tell, makes all the difference in the world.
And like I said, I just put it in there whole, and it kind of marinates in there.
Okay, so
last
crostini number 3.
Yep. And this one gets brie, which is okay. So ricotta, I do like. I like all cheeses. Let's just be real. So brie, if you can find yourself a triple cream brie, a double cream brie, or just just something that almost looks like it's oozing out of the package.
You want a soft one. That splurge a little bit on this one.
Yes.
Okay.
So for this, we're just going to do a little bit of that wonderful brie down.
And for people who are afraid of brie, think butter times 10.
Yes.
I mean, don't be afraid. It's got, I think people think that name, brie, everyone who's ever tried brie that I know is like, oh, this is delicious. There's nothing not to love. It's a soft.
You can kind of just see, Amy, you're just spreading it on perfect. It's an earthy butter. It's got so much richness to it.
It's not a turnoff at all. Don't think blue cheese, goat cheese. It's nothing like that. It's just try, that's your assignment. Try brie this holiday season, good brie, the real soft stuff. Or definitely leave it out. You don't want to serve it, cold.
Right.
It'll get soft on you.
Right, you want it to be nice and creamy.
All right, so here goes just a little bit of that on top.
Just a little bit of the cranberries right on top.
And it looks so festive.
Yep, and you can garnish with a little more rosemary if you want. Otherwise, the cranberries really do such a nice job.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And you can serve them warm, or they do really well at room temperature too. So they're a no fuss type of appetizer for you.
So there you go. We made one big batch of crostinis. Maybe pick up a couple baguettes, slice them up thin, get that done ahead of time, season them with olive oil, salt and pepper, bake those off. And look at and we just scratched the surface on different things that you could put on top of them.
Exactly, and they all pop right off of a nice plate there, nice color, and it's a really great, easy 1 bite or 2 bites appetizer for you.
I love it. Oh, they're gorgeous. Well, happy holidays. Thank you so much
Happy
for sharing the tip.
Yes.
And if you need a last-minute hors d'oeuvre or dessert and you just don't have time to do it and you want something really fantastic, Runaway Spoon, how can people find you?
Runspoon.com.
All right, easy enough. We'll be right back. Coming up, we're going to show you how to get that whole gift wrap area of your house organized. The scissors, the tape, the wrapping paper. Oh, yikes. Plus homemade fudge, the easy way. So stay with us. We'll be back.